Let me introduce Profits 101, part of our Smart Small Business Seminar series. And I have to admit that, well, I like all of them. This is one of my favorites because we combine two sometimes considered to be different areas of business into one. You do need to understand what a financial statement looks like. It's not complex. For a small business, we're really talking about having a really good handle on what the sales are, what all of the related business expenses are, and the difference between the sales and the expenses is your income. It's when you start to look into these two different areas in detail that you really get a handle on how to be more profitable. Now, along the lines of the financial statements, the reason I bring that up is because if you understand the financial situation for your business, even a very simple business, you're way ahead of the game. What do I mean by that? Well, should you budget? Of course you should. If you don't have a budget, in other words, an understanding of what your expenses will be every month and what big purchases you'll have to make, and similarly what revenues you're going to get in order to cover that, and by the way, you need more than enough to cover it because you need to eat as well. So when you start to put all of this together, it's really nothing more than a budget. If there is enough detail there, you'll start to figure out where you're making money and where you're not, or where you're making more money, which customers are giving you the most sales, or which customers are most profitable. Maybe you'll find that certain products or services that you sell don't make you much money. So on a financial statement, on an income statement, typically you see gross margin or gross profits. And that tells you very specifically, is what you're selling making money? Down below, what it tells you is, for the rest of the business, to keep the business going, is it bloated? Are there too many expenses there that are eating away at your gross margin? These are all very, very useful terms that, frankly, you can have some fun understanding. That's half of the picture. So you can see why we get excited about this. Think of the power of what we've just discussed and understanding how to manage. Now over here what we do is the other half, in other words, of the seminar, is we don't look at the numbers on their own. We look at how to make those numbers happen. And there's real magic in this. So sales is the top line, expenses, profit. How do you make that number grow? Well, you increase sales. How do you increase sales? Well, there's actually a lot of answers to that question. There is, in fact, a commonly used model out there, and it's changed form a lot, and we have our own version of it. But it breaks that sales number apart just as I just did. And it in fact breaks it down into every customer you have. So for example, each customer you have, what if he or she bought from you twice a year instead of once? I know it sounds obvious, but a lot of business people don't think about this. What would it take to get them to buy twice? It may be a whole lot less effort than finding a new customer to buy. It may sound like the result is the same either way, it's another sale, but it's not. You've just developed the relationship with this person. Now you interact twice a year instead of once. The cost of acquiring that customer is almost zero. They're already a customer. The cost of getting a new guy, that may cost some money. So there's power in multiple purchases. What if not only does this person buy from you twice a year, they buy twice as much, or they buy 2 or 3 other products related to what you do? The power of that is phenomenal. And we look at the multipliers. So we kind of say, how many customers do you have? And then we break apart with you. How can you multiply that number? By selling more often, selling more product. And of course, up above here, my hand are the customers, is leads. We'll go into a lot of discussion about leads. You do a mailing, and those that respond are leads. but how many of those become customers? Well, this multiplier effect is just as powerful on the leads front. So if for every 100 leads you currently get 2 customers, that may not be bad in your industry. Imagine if you could get that just up to 4. Well, you just doubled your business by going from 2 out of 100 to 4 out of 100 being customers. So how do I get to 4? Well, we'll help you understand that. Financial statements, the different types of statements, the multiplier. Altogether, it's a pretty powerful seminar. We look forward to seeing you there too.